Alright guys, welcome back to Classic Arcade Repairs. Sean with you again, and we are looking at a Defender board set from Williams Electronics. First thing, when I pulled this out of the box, I noticed that there was alkaline batteries in the board. Alkaline batteries. Please buy some lithium batteries for this thing. Put in there. Now they're a little more expensive, but they won't ruin your board like those guys will, if forgotten about. So, little tip for the day. I took this board set out of the box, and I want you to see this. Someone found a home. Busted. Cats. Funny. Okay, so I'm gonna get my harness out. We'll hook this thing up. I'm gonna have to where is it at? Over here in the corner. That little trace right there next to the resistor. I'm gonna have to break that, and I'll remove solder from the holes, and when I'm done with this, I'll put a 0 ohm resistor in there to short it, because I have to invert the sync to my monitor. So, alright, let's get to it. Okay, the first piece of the puzzle was this 161. This is actually one that I grabbed out of my stock. And the one that was in here, I should have did video right from the beginning. It's saying ROM failure, but the chip that was in here, and this is the hardware counters for RAM access, and this one, the power pin was broke off of it. So I just pulled that out of the board because I probed around on it, and I probed the power pin, and it was low, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So I pulled it out of the board, and the power pin was broke off the chip. So I just pulled that out, and I popped one in here, and now we're getting something. And it actually looks like it's working. But it's coming up ROM and RAM failure. But then it might just start working. These things are so weird how they do this. Come on, do something. I know you want to. That reset. It's resetting. ROM failure, RAM failure. And it is giving me a little code here with the LEDs. So I might have to jump on the manual, but I'm not quite buying that though, because this thing is so just junky. Honestly. These sockets and these RAMs, things just a disaster. This system is a disaster. And the best way to make this system solid is to replace all of these sockets and convert this to 4164 RAM, and to replace all of those sockets, clean the legs, and make it solid. It's not this ribbon connector. It's all the other sockets. You got 2 connections here, and then you've got, what, 11 and 24 is 35. So 35 connections versus 2. You know, and then throw these in there too. These sockets. That's your issue. That's the issue with these boards. So what I am going to do, and I've already talked to the owner of this set, is we're going to do a mass renewal on this thing. And we're going to replace all of these sockets. We're going to convert to 4164, and I'm going to replace all of those sockets, clean the legs up really good, recap, you know, new caps where they're needed. And I did, before I did anything, I cleared those holes, and I used my Dremel to break that trace right there so that this thing would display on my screen properly. And when I'm done, I'm just going to put a 0 ohm resistor, a short basically, and short that trace so that it'll work in the cabinet how it's supposed to. I just have to invert the that inverts the sync, so yeah, to work with my monitor. So, without further ado, you know what we will do? Okay, I'll do this. I'll humor myself, and I'll look up this code. I don't know if that's 0123 or 0123, but we'll figure it out. There are codes for failures in this, and we'll see what this is trying to tell us and see if it's actually accurate. It might be. I'm kind of thinking it's not, because it's the initial test is saying RAM and ROM failure, which is I just don't buy it. So all right, well, let's check that out. Okay, I was messing around with the ROMs. Now I have just laying around an almost complete set of Defender ROMs right here. So I'm going to dump these. I'm going to make sure that these are good to begin with. This is his set. One of them had a broken leg. It was this one, so 10, 11. Number 11 had a broken leg on it. So if my 11's good, I'll just put that in the board. But I'm going to verify all of these chips and make sure they're all good. And we'll start with a good set of software. I'm going to clean the legs up too. They're pretty nasty. So let's go ahead and I'll clean the legs, and we'll go from there. Make sure the software is all good and clean, and then carry on. Okay, so this one is the one that had the bad leg, so I put the red one in that I had. It had a broken leg. And number 2, which is a 2532, was no good. It was just the wrong file. Corrupted. So I programmed a number 2 ROM, 2532, and hooked it up, fired it up, and it's just a blank screen now. I'm going to go ahead and reset. It's just giving you a funky RAM failure over and over and over. Well, this thing has serious RAM issues now. I think we've moved past the ROM problems. Now we are firmly into RAM issues. So that's good. I mean, this is good. We're past the ROM issue. Now it's just RAM. So next thing to do is just go ahead and start redoing the sockets and stuff. Doing a bunch of repopulating. So I'm going to get to it. I'll see you in a while. Okay, actually guys, I was getting ready to take it apart and I noticed I had a leg out of the socket right here. So I put it back in and we're It's just kind of going through the motions here. It's resetting. It's just got issues. It was doing the whole RAM, bad ROM thing again. I'm going to reset it. See what it does. It's just resetting now. What a total pain. Okay, I know that the ROMs are good. This is a good set of ROMs now. So, original plan, I'm going to get to depopulating all these old sockets and stuff and redoing it. So I'll be back. Okay, well, I guess third time's a charm. I started taking it apart again and noticed that this guy, the ground leg was folded. So I unfolded it and put it back together, and now it is, well, it just went to this screen after it was RAM failure. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the thing, and it'll probably come up RAM failure. Yeah, RAM failure. At least we're not getting ROM failure anymore. So maybe all of the pins are in the sockets now. It's possible. RAM failure. It doesn't really... Oh, this one doesn't do the whole 131 thing. Yeah, I was thinking the whole 131 thing. This doesn't do that. It's just stating RAM failure. Okay. Alright. Well, I can probably probe the RAM input-output and find out which one's bad. It could just be a socket. You know, so who knows. Alright. Hey guys, here's something really interesting. Look down here. I'm removing the solder out of all of these sockets. I'm down to almost the last one. There's only one more. And look at that. First of all, that is a bad solder joint. Look at that on that right here. Right there. See that cracked solder joint right there? And then whatever this is shortened to here. So this pin is shorted to that pin on this thing. That is weird. I don't know how that got there, but that's there. So I'm going to continue, but I just wanted to point that out. That is, and I didn't do that. That's been like that. So that's very strange. So yeah, how weird. Okay, I just wanted to show that. Okay, and the Defender ROM board is desocketed. This one doesn't matter because it's not populated. As you can see, it's looking good. Yeah, that, where was that thing? That pin right here. This right here is what was shorted over there. It's a, if we look at it, it's this guy right here, this short thing. It's this leg right here was shorted to that, which is not good. That's going to mess the whole works up. It's going to really screw things up. So we'll get it. I'm going to work on the main board now. I'm not going to bother socketing this. I'm going to remove the sockets from the other board first. So I'm going to get to that. Start on it. Okay, the main board and the ROM board are desoldered, and I will say this was not easy at all. You talk about soldered not wanting to desolder. And unfortunately, I pulled up a trace. I'm going to have to do a repair, trace repair. Right there. From that point to that point. And there's I think there's another one, I think. Maybe. That point to that point for sure. There, right there. There to that via. That's an easy one. This one sucks because it's got to go to there and over to here. So it's basically two connections. This one's only one. That's not a big deal. I can put a wire right down there and down that via, no problem. But, yep, unfortunately, it just did not want to desolder. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start repopulating these and move on. Alright, I am just going to beep test. Make sure nothing else is broke. I'm basically going from one end to the other. Here to here. Okay. Here to here. Here to here. If there's a break along the way. And okay. Now good. Damn it. See? That's why you beep these out. I got a break right here. There's a break right there. I did not even see that. I tell you. This was a struggle. That's an easy fix, though. That'll be an easy fix. Okay. Oh no. Another one. This was brutal. Oh my God, are you kidding me? There's another one. This is terrible. This is terrible. Hack City. This one I already know it's broke. It's broke right there. That one I already know about. Okay. Another one. And that's what I already know about. Oh my God. I already know about this one. There's just a ton of broken traces on this bank. Unfortunately, just absolute hacking. I tell you, they just didn't want to. It just didn't want to desolder at all. This one doesn't look like there's any breaks. Well, no brakes, no brakes. How many brakes? How many on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Goodness gracious, that makes me want to cry. That is terrible. Well, I better get to work. Alright, let me grab my glasses. And I just went through and fixed my own hackery. You see the little pieces of wire soldered onto the traces and going down the holes. A little glue right there to keep that one down. And a little glue on this one to keep that down. That's it. Now we'll solder the sockets into place and do another beep test. Okay, I got that bank soldered in. So I'm going to do the same test. Do the beep test. Beep test. That's not supposed to be short. Okay. Okay, this is not supposed to be short. Good, good, good. Very good. We're looking good. All right. And that was all, that whole fix was done top side underneath the sockets. You can see the back side is just solder. Now I left a little bit of the lead out so that I could tell where they were. I'm gonna trim them. The little golden wires, you know, copper wires. Cool. So we're looking good there. These two were good. They beeped out good. So I didn't break anything on these two banks. But man, I hacked the hell out of that bank. It's ridiculous. I don't know what happened. But we're good. We're fixed. And it's pretty hidden. You won't be able to tell. You know, you can't really tell unless you really get in there. You know, you get in right here and you see that little copper wire going across there and there. So it's pretty hidden pretty well. Of course, you guys will know about it. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm going to do the other ones. We'll be good to go. Alright guys, we are fully repopulated. 4164 RAM, brand new. 24 brand new ones. These guys are back in. New sockets everywhere. ROMs are good to go. This one had the broken leg, remember, and this one was just no good. So I programmed this one, and this one I had sitting around. So new sockets on the ROM board. And we are on Defender. This game is awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way of testing the... I mean, I'll hook this guy up and everything, but I'll try to test this thing. But I don't really have a good way of doing all the buttons and whatnot. I got a little adapter on there for... that's my 4164 Williams board adapter. What I'm going to do with this thing is I'm going to modify this board so that it can just go straight in the cabinet without any modification to the cabinet. This board will be retrofitted to only accept 4164 RAMs. Do away with those 4116s. We don't want to see those ever again. So, absolutely. Yep, and I do have a video. If you look in my playlist of how-to videos, there is a video of how to modify this board, the power connector of this board, to accept 4164s in your cabinet, to where you can just put this board in, plug it in, and it's good to go. You don't have to modify anything in the cabinet. The modification is done on the back of the board. So check that out if you're curious. Heck yeah. He did send his soundboard along, so I'm going to hook up the soundboard too. I have to come up with some kind of a volume control. I don't believe I have a volume control. But, heck yeah, awesome. Alright. Well, let me get the soundboard hooked up. Kind of go through setting up some kind of a volume control. I used to have a Williams volume control somewhere. Pot, you know. But I don't even know what the pinout is of this thing. I don't know anything about it. I might have to pull up the pinouts and try to do some testing. I do want to have a lights off Defender. You know, check this thing out with the lights off. I do want to do that. So let me go ahead. I got to do a little research. I got to find out what the pinout is and all that, and try to monkey around with some inputs and sounds and whatnot. So, okay. I'll be back, guys. All right. I got the soundboard hooked up. I had to make an adapter, an extender here. This just goes, and it is an extension to hook into my speaker. And then I've got this made, but I need a proper pot. I need a proper 50K pot. This thing just doesn't cut it. This is like full blast, so be warned. When I start this, when I reset it, and it does the Defender, wah, 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 it's really loud. But I went ahead and I did some rewiring to my harness, and I'm basically powering the soundboard off of my AR board, is how I went about it, doing it. So I had to, I had to trace back some of the wires from here, because these wires are all going to my AR power. So I had to snip them off of this. You can see right there, maybe the 5 volt there. I cut it and ran it to my AR. I'm powering that board off of the AR. So I'll go ahead and hit reset, and you'll see I need the proper pot. This thing just doesn't cut it, but you'll see. Yeah, it's like full blast. So sound works. I believe the coin input is up here. So I got to look at the pinout quite yet. I think what I'll do is I'll print it off so that I can mess around and do some grounding. I know this is ground. So I'll mess around and ground some things out and get this thing doing some, you know, to where I can actually act like I'm doing some input. So I'll be right back. Alright, I don't know if I read the schematic wrong, or I actually looked it up online and it said 50K pot for the volume. I just soldered in a 500K pot right here, and I'll go ahead and reset it. The sound is much more manageable. Yeah, it's a 500K pot. Cool, this thing's working good. So I'm going to go ahead, print off my pinouts so that I can, you know, just poke around, you know, and start a game, coin it up and all that. So I'll be right back. Alright, I got my pinouts printed out, so I think I can kind of maneuver around this thing. And I did, it says I got 4 credits in there. I credited it up and then I reset it, but it held the credits, which is good. I mean, okay, I'm going to coin it up again. Nice. One player start is six. Okay. 3 from here. 1, 2. All right. Fire. We'll do thrust and smart bomb. Yeah. Hyperspace. Hyperspace. Reverse is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reverse. Reverse is not working. Down works. Up works. Reverse. Reverse is not working. Why is reverse not working? That's weird. Down works. Up. Up, down. Reverse is not working. Okay, well that is a problem. Reverse does not work. So we will have to look at the schematic on that one. Alright. I'm going to turn the lights back on. Okay, yeah. Pin 7 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is reverse, and it did not work. Everything else worked, but not reverse, which is a bummer. So, okay, I'm going to check the schematic out and see why reverse would not be working. Guys, there's something very strange going on here. This is a widget board, as they call it, interface board, that I had here at the house. This one is a completely different pinout than this one, but this one works. And you can see here it says 10, right? 10. So here's 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. 1 to 10. And my schematic here says that J33, which is the one closest to the main PCB, so that's this guy. Pin 1 is fire, thrust, smart bomb, hyperspace. So that would be thrust, nope, fire, thrust, smart bomb, hyperspace. And then 2-player, 1-player, reverse, down, and then up is way over here on the end. And if I do this, we go number 6 is 1-player, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 player, and then back to here. Okay, fire, thrust, smart bomb, hyperspace, it works. Thrust, fire, fire, thrust, and this is 7. This is reverse, and it's working. See that? See how I'm reversing? And this is up and down. So this one is working, and this one is a completely different. This one's not working right. It's like a different pinout almost. It's like backwards. This one starts here, and that's the way it is. Thrust fire. This one was thrust fire starting over here going this way. No, it can't be. That it doesn't seem right. This one works, this one don't. I don't get it. Does anyone have any information on this? Because I don't get it. This one works, but it's the exact opposite pinout of this one. Like if this one was the Defender one and your plug's plugged in here, then if you used this one, it would not work because it would be exact opposite. This is fire on this one. On this one, no. This is fire on this one, right here. This is fire on this one. This is thrust on this one. This is thrust on this one. Smart bomb. Smart bomb. See, they're the opposite. This one starts over here. This one starts over here. I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. Is this made for a different game? Because this one seems to work. Huh. I don't know. I do not get it. I don't know. Okay. Huh. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of looking. Okay, just by following this is the proper, this is the right Defender one, the one that he had. This one must be for a different game. Later series, maybe, I don't know. But this is the proper one, the one that the customer had. Just by following this pin, which is reverse, around through all of this business, through this resistor pack, it comes back to this 4049 chip, which is basically an inverter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it back in, and I'm going to jump this with a good 4049, a new one, and see if I get reverse. Yeah, guys, I replaced these three guys right here just to try to shotgun this thing, and it didn't work. Turns out the PIA is bad. Now I got reverse. But it's goofing up. See, I got it jumped. It's upside down. The picture's upside down. See, now I went up, but I can push reverse now. See that? I'm sorry. See, I'm reversing now. Player 2. Player 2, I don't know what. Oh, this is player 2, I guess. I don't know. Holy crap, guys. You gotta. Okay, player 1. Reverse. See, reverse. It's working. Oh, I'm sorry. Goodness gracious. I've had one too many of these guys. I'm sorry. The PIA is no good. So I'm going to have to replace the PIA chip. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Be right back. Okay, I got the PIA chip removed nicely, right here, the original, and I'm going to solder in the new one. You know what, I'm going to socket it. I'm going to put a socket in. Why not? Alright, I'm going to socket the guy, so I'll be back. Alright guys, I just turned it back on after replacing this guy, and we're up to the white screen. I gotta hit reset again. We got a new PIA in this guy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set up and test this thing out. Okay, alrighty. We're ready to start. Let's go ahead and coin it up. And one player start. Fire, thrust. That's fire, here's thrust. Smart bomb. Hyperspace. Reverse. Reverse works. Down, up. We're good to go. That's going to do it, guys. Bad PIA. So we have a successful test. The 6821 crapped out on the interface board. It was missing one input. It was missing reverse. Now it's good to go. All right, that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to do the the aforementioned mod on the back of the board here for 4164 RAMs. I mentioned that I did have a video on how to do that, so I'm not going to bother filming that. I'm just going to do it on this board, and this one will be good to go. Defender, working good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff helps the channel grow. I appreciate all of it. And I will see you guys on the next repair. Peace out.